What if everything you've been told about aging is wrong? What if the decline you think is inevitable isn't written in your genetics at all, but rather determined by a choice you make 3 times a day? What if right now, inside your body, there's a system so powerful that when activated, it can literally add years to your life, clear your skin, sharpen your mind, and give you energy that rivals someone half your age? Most people never discover this system exists, but the world's longest living populations have been using it instinctively for centuries. And today I'm going to show you exactly how it works and how you can activate it starting tonight. Welcome to Healthcare Workshop. I'm Dr. William, and what I'm about to share with you could fundamentally transform your health. There's a village in the mountains where people routinely live past 100, not weak and fragile, but farming, dancing, and working with energy that exhausts people in their 30s. These aren't genetic mutations. These are ordinary people following principles that modern science is only now catching up to understand. For the last 50 years, researchers around the world have been independently discovering the same mechanism through different avenues. A Japanese cardiologist studying mountain villages, an American gastroenterologist examining digestive health, a Nobel Prize-winning biochemist working with yeast cells, all arrived at the same conclusion. Your body has a built-in renewal system that science is calling autophagy, and when you activate it, aging slows down dramatically. Let me explain what's actually happening inside your cells right now. Inside every single cell, there's a cleanup process called autophagy. The word means self-eating, and before that sounds alarming, understand this is your body's most powerful repair mechanism. Think of your cells like factories. Over decades, they accumulate damaged components, toxic proteins, and waste. When autophagy activates, it's like calling in a specialized maintenance crew. They identify the broken parts, break them down, recycle the useful materials, and eliminate the waste. This isn't just housekeeping. This is cellular renovation. This is your body literally rebuilding itself stronger. In 1988, a Japanese scientist named Dr. Yoshinori Osumi conducted an experiment that would eventually win him the Nobel Prize. He was studying yeast cells and trying to understand why cells sometimes consume their own components. His colleagues dismissed the work as pointless, but Osumi had intuition. He starved yeast cells of nutrients and watched under the microscope. What he witnessed changed everything. The cells didn't die. Instead, they activated an internal program that systematically broke down damaged structures, recycled the materials, and survived far longer than expected. He had discovered autophagy in action. What Osumi proved was revolutionary. Autophagy isn't a sign of cellular distress. It's a sign of cellular intelligence. It's a survival mechanism encoded into human DNA for millions of years. This process eliminates cancer cells before they develop. It breaks down inflammatory proteins causing disease. It clears oxidative damage leading to aging. Autophagy is your body's built-in anti-aging system. For most of us, it runs on a dim setting because of how we live. Osumi's laboratory discoveries confirmed what certain populations had been doing instinctively for centuries. These weren't people reading scientific journals. They were simply living according to ancient principles that perfectly activated autophagy. In the 1970s, a Japanese cardiologist named Dr. Makoto Suzuki began researching why communities in Okinawa lived extraordinarily long lives with remarkably low disease rates. He documented hundreds of Okinawans living past 100 who weren't frail. At 95, they were still farming. At 100, they were still dancing. Their arterial health resembled 50-year-olds. Their cancer rates were a fraction of Western populations. Their immune systems remained robust. Their minds stayed sharp. Suzuki interviewed hundreds of these individuals. He studied their medical histories, lifestyles, and diets. A clear pattern emerged. These people weren't following complicated protocols. They weren't taking supplements or following trendy diets. What they were doing was something far simpler that aligned perfectly with what science was discovering about cellular repair. The foundation of their longevity was built on a principle thousands of years old in Japanese culture. It's called harahachibu, which means eat until you are 8 parts full. Not satisfied, not full, but 80% full. Comfortably content but not stuffed. This was taught from childhood as cultural wisdom. Before meals, many would pause and remind themselves. It was practiced 3 times daily, every single day. You might think this is just about eating less, but something different happens at the cellular level. When you eat until 80% full instead of completely full, you create a specific metabolic condition. You signal to your body, we have enough resources, now we can do maintenance work. Your body shifts from constantly processing food into energy to a state where it can attend to repair. This is when autophagy activates intensely. Picture your digestive system like a factory with two shifts. The day shift processes incoming materials, breaks down food, extracts nutrients, and produces energy. The night shift does maintenance, repair, and cleanup. When you're constantly eating, when you finish one meal and start thinking about the next within hours, you never give the night shift time to work. The factory stays in perpetual production. But when you stop eating earlier, when you create a longer window between your last meal and first meal the next day, suddenly the maintenance crew can work. Another researcher discovered this independently. Dr. Shigeki Hinohara was a renowned physician fascinated by the connection between digestive health and longevity. He noticed something striking. Every patient with serious digestive problems struggled with health issues throughout their body. Poor digestion correlated with poor skin, low energy, weak immunity, and accelerated aging. Hinohara developed a theory. Your gut health is the master control switch for your entire body's aging process. A healthy digestive system means better nutrient absorption, stronger immunity, less inflammation, better hormonal regulation. When your digestive system constantly works, never resting, it becomes exhausted. It loses ability to repair itself. It becomes inflamed. This inflammation spreads throughout your body. Hinohara created his life extension protocol. It was elegantly simple. He ate a light breakfast, modest lunch, and made dinner his main meal. But the critical part was timing. He finished eating by 6 in the evening and didn't eat again until 10 the next morning. That's 16 hours? 16 hours giving his digestive system complete rest. 16 hours allowing his body to activate deep repair mechanisms. 16 hours of autophagy working at peak efficiency. The results were remarkable. Hinohara lived to 105. At 100, he was still seeing patients. At 102, he traveled to New York to give lectures. He worked 18-hour days with energy of someone a fraction of his age. When asked his secret, he smiled and said, "I give my body time to clean house every night." He understood intuitively what science proved. Rest is when the deepest health maintenance happens. Another researcher spent over 30 years examining the colons of over 300,000 people. Dr. Hiromi Shina used advanced endoscopic technology to understand the relationship between digestive health and longevity. What he found was striking. In patients eating typical Western diets, consuming processed foods, excessive meat and dairy, snacking constantly, Shina found colons that were thick, shortened, and showed visible damage. The tissue looked inflamed. Muscle tone was poor. Structure showed chronic stress. But in patients eating traditional Japanese diets, practicing regular fasting, eating mostly plants with small fish amounts, Shina found colons that were longer, cleaner, structurally sound. Tissue appeared decades younger. What really captured Shina's attention was that patients with the absolute healthiest colons were those who regularly gave their digestive systems extended breaks. They weren't following complicated protocols. They were eating in compressed time windows and fasting regularly. They were allowing colons to rest and repair. Constant eating creates constant stress on digestive lining. Your intestinal wall cells need to repair themselves, rebuild protective barriers, eliminate damaged cells, and replace them with healthy ones. But if they never rest, if they constantly process food and deal with inflammatory triggers, they can't do repair work. The intestinal barrier becomes compromised. Toxins leak. Inflammation increases. The entire aging cascade accelerates. When you give your digestive system real rest, something magical happens. Cells lining intestines shift into repair mode. Your liver, working to process food and filter toxins, can finally do deep cleaning. Your entire metabolic system shifts from fed state to fasted state. In fasted state, autophagy becomes your body's primary focus. This isn't starvation. Your body has plenty of stored energy. This is strategic rest. Here's the practical mechanism. Your body operates on ancient rhythms hardwired into DNA for millions of years. Your ancestors didn't have 24-hour food access. They had seasons of abundance and scarcity. They had days with plentiful food and days making do with less. Their bodies evolved handling both states efficiently. In abundance, the body stores energy and builds resources. In scarcity, the body activates repair and maintenance systems. Modern civilization created permanent abundance. 24-hour food access, eating first thing in the morning until late evening, snacking between meals, calorie drinks constantly. We've created a permanent fed state. This continuous fed state signals your body, no need for repair work. More food is coming. Keep processing. Keep storing energy. The repair crew never gets called. But here's the exciting part. You can change this. You can signal to your body it's time to activate repair mode. You don't need anything extreme. You don't need to fast for days or go hungry. You simply need to create a reasonable fasting window. The most practical approach aligning with research in longest living populations is this. Finish your last meal between 6 and 7 in the evening. Go to bed with a slightly empty stomach. Sleep through the night. Wake up and wait at least 12 hours, preferably 14 to 16, before your first substantial meal. Let me give you a concrete example. If you finish dinner at 7 and don't eat until 1 the next afternoon, that's an 18-hour fast. During those hours, your body isn't starving. It's thriving. It's using stored energy. It's activating autophagy. It's allowing digestive system to repair itself. Your liver is doing deep detoxification. Your cells are cleaning damaged proteins and broken components. Your immune system is resetting. Your insulin levels are stabilizing. Your metabolism is shifting to burn fat efficiently. This isn't about deprivation. This is about working with your body's natural rhythms instead of against them. The longest living populations aren't eating weird foods or taking strange supplements. They're eating in a way aligning with how human bodies are designed to function. Now, when these populations do eat, food selection matters tremendously. Okinawans made purple sweet potatoes their primary carbohydrate instead of white rice. Why? Purple sweet potatoes are packed with compounds actually enhancing autophagy. They have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't spike blood sugar and insulin. When insulin spikes, it signals that plenty of energy is available, so no cellular repair is needed. But foods keeping insulin stable allow autophagy to continue working. Beyond sweet potatoes, longest living populations fill plates with specific foods supporting cellular repair. They eat bitter melon, containing compounds regulating blood sugar and enhancing insulin sensitivity. They eat seaweed, providing minerals supporting detoxification and containing powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds. They eat tofu and plant-based proteins easier to digest than animal proteins, not creating the same inflammatory response. They eat vegetables in every color, understanding different colors represent different phytonutrients, each with specific repair and protective functions. Red vegetables like tomatoes contain lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. Orange and yellow vegetables contain beta-carotene, protecting against oxidative damage. Green vegetables are packed with chlorophyll supporting detoxification. Purple and blue vegetables contain anthocyanins, particularly effective at crossing the blood-brain barrier, protecting neural tissue. By eating variety in colors, these populations ensure cells get a full spectrum of protective compounds. What they drink matters as much as what they eat. Many longest-living Okinawans had daily tea rituals lasting hours. They slowly sipped jasmine tea, green tea, and traditional Okinawan blends. These weren't random choices. Polyphenols in green tea are powerful antioxidants helping protect cells during repair. They reduce inflammation. They support mitochondrial function, crucial for cellular energy production. The ritual of slowly sipping tea throughout the day naturally helped them practice portion control. The foods these populations eat aren't exotic or difficult to find. Purple sweet potatoes are at most grocery stores. Bitter melon is at Asian markets or increasingly at mainstream grocers. Seaweed is available dried. Green tea is everywhere. These are simple, affordable foods. The difference is intentionality. These populations ate specific foods with purpose, understanding through cultural wisdom that these foods supported health and longevity. Now here's practical implementation based on all this science. This is where theory becomes action and action becomes transformation. I'm outlining a 4-week protocol, gradually introducing these principles into your life. You don't need drastic overnight changes. You need strategic adjustments aligning with your body's natural rhythms. Week 1 is about awareness and gentle introduction. Start practicing harahachibu at every meal. This doesn't require measuring or calculating. It requires listening to your body. At each meal, eat slowly. Pay attention to how you feel. When you notice you're comfortably satisfied but not stuffed, when you could eat more but you're genuinely content, that's 80% full. Stop there. Your body will surprise you with quick adaptation. You'll notice that despite eating less, you feel more satisfied because blood sugar isn't spiking and crashing. Week 2 extends your fasting window gradually. If you finish dinner at 8 and eat breakfast at 7, you currently have an 11-hour fast. In week 2, finish dinner at 7 instead of 8. That's a 12-hour fast. Once this feels natural, gradually push back breakfast. Instead of 7, try 8. That's a 13-hour fast. The key is gradual adjustment. Your body adapts more readily to small incremental changes than drastic ones. Week 3 transforms your morning routine. This is important. When you break a 14, 16, or 18-hour fast, what you eat matters tremendously. You don't want to flood your system with heavy food immediately. Your digestive system has rested. If you suddenly eat a large meal, it's like waking someone from deep sleep and immediately asking them to run a marathon. Instead, start something gentle. Begin mornings with fresh vegetable juice using carrots, celery, and apple. Or make a smoothie with green vegetables, small amount of fruit, and a tablespoon of olive oil. The olive oil slows sugar absorption, preventing the insulin spike that would shut down autophagy. You're providing nutrients without overwhelming your rested digestive system. Then wait about 20 minutes. Let your body gently transition from fasted state to fed state, maximizing benefits of both phases. Then have your first substantial meal with vegetables, healthy fats, and quality protein. Week 4 optimizes your main meal. Since you're eating in a compressed window, ensure you're getting optimal nutrition. Make your main meal a celebration of whole foods. Include sweet potatoes, include leafy greens like spinach or kale, include variety of colored vegetables. Include quality protein, whether fish, lean meat, tofu, or legumes. Season with turmeric, ginger, and garlic, all having powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. The goal is nutrient density. Your body will respond to these changes in waves. Understanding this timeline keeps you motivated. In the first week, as you extend your fasting window and practice Hara-Hachi-Bu, you'll notice improved energy. Specifically, that afternoon crash you typically experience begins to diminish. That afternoon wall when you feel you need caffeine or a snack comes from blood sugar fluctuations caused by eating too much too frequently. As you shift eating patterns, that crash disappears. You'll notice your sleep deepens. Your body, finally getting the signal that it's okay to rest and repair, shifts into deeper sleep cycles. You may sleep less but feel more rested. By weeks 2 and 3, mental clarity improves dramatically. Afternoon brain fog that many accept as normal disappears. Your thinking becomes sharper. Concentration improves. Some describe it as if someone lifted a fog they didn't realize was there. Your skin begins looking clearer and more radiant. You might notice fewer breakouts, more even skin tone, better texture. Your clothes might fit differently even if the scale hasn't changed much. Your body is becoming more efficient. By months 2 and 3, truly remarkable changes appear. Your immune system strengthens noticeably. You get fewer colds and infections. If you get sick, you recover faster. Minor aches and pains you accepted as normal start disappearing. A sore knee might feel fine. Headaches that were frequent might become rare. People around you start commenting that you look different. They might say you look younger, more vibrant, more energetic. Your energy throughout the day becomes stable instead of spiking and crashing. What's crucial is that these changes result from your cells actually repairing themselves. This isn't placebo. This is autophagy working. This is your cellular repair crew doing their job. This is your gut healing. This is your immune system resetting. This is your mitochondria becoming more efficient. This is your entire body becoming younger at the cellular level. There's a deeper principle here beyond fasting mechanics and cellular repair. The longest living population share something beyond eating patterns. They share a sense of purpose. The Japanese call this ikigai, roughly meaning reason for being. Every centenarian had something worth living for. They had community roles. They had people depending on them. They had creative pursuits or meaningful work. Researchers discovered that purpose might be as important as biological mechanisms in determining longevity. A body repaired at the cellular level but lacking purpose seems to age faster than a body undergoing normal wear and tear but having strong reasons to keep going. There's also important reality embedded in this research. When younger Okinawans abandon traditional eating patterns and adopt Western habits of constant snacking and processed foods, their health outcomes shift significantly. They lose their longevity advantage. This proves something crucial. Longevity isn't about genetics or luck. It's about behavior. Centenarians live longer because of specific daily practices. The moment those practices change, the results change. This is hopeful news. You're not trapped by genetics. You're not doomed to follow your parents' aging trajectory if it wasn't positive. You have agency. You have the ability to change your trajectory through deliberate practice and intentional behavior. This isn't about extreme restriction or deprivation. This isn't about suffering through fasts or eating nothing but salads. The longest living populations enjoy their food. They eat meals they find delicious. The difference is that they built their food culture around food supporting cellular repair and practiced moderation through Hara-Hachi-Bu. Many people find that as they implement these practices, their relationship with food actually improves. They become more mindful about eating. They notice flavors more because they're eating slowly. They feel less driven by constant hunger because blood sugar is stable. They experience genuine satisfaction instead of just stuffing themselves. There's something important about social and cultural eating aspects that these long-living populations understood. Eating wasn't just about nutrition, it was about community, ritual, and enjoyment. Many had daily tea rituals with family. Meals were occasions to gather and connect. This social engagement is itself a powerful health factor. Research shows loneliness damages health as much as smoking. Social connection is protective. The protocol I've outlined is a starting point, not rigid prescription. Some will gravitate toward longer fasting windows. Some will find 12 to 14 hours is their sweet spot. Some will find certain foods work better for their bodies. The key is experimenting, listening to your body, and finding the version of these principles that works for you personally. If you have medical conditions, take medications, or are pregnant or breastfeeding, consult your healthcare provider before making significant eating pattern changes. While these practices are based on sound science, individual circumstances vary. Your doctor can help you implement these principles safely. Your body has incredible capacity for renewal and repair. This capacity is built into your cells. It's been encoded into your DNA through millions of years of evolution. This capacity functions optimally when you give your body the right conditions. When you create space through fasting and moderation, when you feed your body nutrient-dense foods, when you honor your body's natural rhythms, you activate something profound. Every cell in your body wants to repair itself. Every system wants to function optimally. Your immune system wants to eliminate threats. Your digestive system wants to absorb nutrients efficiently. Your brain wants to think clearly. Your joints want to move without pain. Your skin wants to regenerate and look vibrant. All these desires are built into your biology. Your job is simply to provide conditions for these systems to do what they're designed to do. The Okinawan centenarians achieved longevity through practices aligning with their body's natural design. Now that science has decoded these practices, you have access to the same wisdom. You have knowledge. You have understanding. What remains is choice. Will you continue eating patterns suppressing your body's repair systems? Or will you shift toward patterns activating them? Tonight, you have the opportunity to make a different choice. Your last meal can be at a reasonable hour, not late evening. You can give your body a genuine fasting window. Tomorrow morning, you can break your fast gently with vegetable juice instead of a heavy meal. Your meals can center around whole foods supporting cellular repair. These decisions, made consistently over time, compound. Your cellular repair crew is ready. Your body is ready. All it takes is a choice and consistent action. Your best years might not be behind you. They might be ahead,